welcome back to the archives. Today I want to talk about the stigma behind anime and how Inuyasha suffers from this dilemma. How many of us have been made fun of for liking anime? Or how many of us have heard anime referred to as just a Japanese cartoon? For many, as well as myself, we were probably labeled as a geek or nerd if you were into anime or anything that was part of nerddom. With nerd culture on the rise with the likes of Marvel and other comic book movies, anime is quickly becoming mainstream as well. Many celebrities including Elon Musk, Bill Burr, Ariana Grande, John Boyega, and Ronda Rousey all proudly have admitted to watching anime. Anime has made itself a huge part of the hip-hop community as well. Notably, female rapper Megan Thee Stallion even admitted to Inuyasha being her first anime crush. You'll see it all over TikTok with whole groups of people dedicated to a specific anime because they love it that much. Looking at the AniTuber community today, the big channels will often discuss older anime, such as Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach, as well as newer stuff, Sword Art Online, Konosuba, ReZero, etc. The videos I enjoy watching the most are the Why You Should Watch Blank videos. These are usually really good at selling you on the main points and themes of a show without giving away too much plot. They are fantastic at convincing you to watch a show this way. Whenever Rumika Takahashi is discussed in the AniTuber community, it seems to be only for a brief moment, either to say she was a successful female mangaka, or to talk about her other works briefly. These works include Ranma Half, Urusei Yatsura, and Maison Ikkoku. They are all fantastic series in their own right and allow her talents to shine brightly. However, they barely mention Inuyasha. Why is this? It is a fantastic show. Is it because it had a female main character? Is it because the series' audience is women? Is it because it's from Studio Sunrise? Let's explore these questions and try to understand why Inuyasha might not be discussed as much and prove why it really should be analyzed. With Yashahime airing, these are important questions to ask. Looking at the AniTuber community of today, I have yet to see any of the big name channels talking about either Inuyasha or its well-deserved sequel. Let's begin by diving into Studio Sunrise. Sunrise is an animation studio with an impressive library of shows. From Cowboy Bebop to Code Geass, this studio has seen it all. Studio Sunrise has a total of 15 different sub-studios that have all worked on various projects. Studio 1 produced Inuyasha along with Mobile Suit Gundam, Patlabor, as well as various other Gundam installments. The studio itself is very successful, having been around for nearly 50 years of production. Considering their library of titles, I don't believe this is why people do not discuss Inuyasha. Many will talk about Gundam and the other fantastic works of Sunrise. So what's next to consider? Could it be that because the main character Kagome was female? Considering when Inuyasha was airing, many shows at the time were male-centric. In the West, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Were some of the few that were being aired on TV as television studios tried to crack in on the anime craze. A few female-centered shows like Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura were airing, but these shows are still discussed today. You might try to argue that Kagome isn't the main character and that Inuyasha is the main character. And to that, I ask that you check out my last video where I break down a main character from a protagonist, and decipher who is the main character of the series. I doubt that this is really the case, but it's worth considering in the long run. Now, let's compare Inuyasha to another series that also received a sequel. Naruto is the perfect example. Naruto, a story about a young ninja, was a long-running series from around the same time frame that eventually received a sequel. Much like Inuyasha, the sequel follows the children of the main cast as the next generation take hold of their own world. Comparing the two stories, there are many similarities and differences. As far as lore and a large cast of characters, Naruto wins those categories. It has one of the largest cast of characters you'll find in an anime. Inuyasha has a small, intimate cast that you get to know in depth from every facet of their being. Between the two shows, Naruto has the downside of a large amount of filler. Inuyasha comparatively has very little filler, with almost all of the content being drawn from the manga. Yashahime and Boruto also have similarities and differences. Both have time skips with children around the same age as what would have been the initial target audience of the original show. Both had the previous cast of characters making appearances in the new show to further the plot along. One upside to Yashahime is that the show is designed specifically for anime format. It isn't being adapted from manga. Boruto, on the other hand, was released without manga to go off of, but caught back up to manga after like 20 episodes or so. This turned many fans off of Boruto as it almost seemed like the beginning didn't matter. With Yashahime, you grow with the story naturally along with the characters. The sequel itself is something that could deserve a little nod from the anime community, but again, it seems to fall under the Inuyasha dilemma of an unspoken agreement not to talk about it. Both stories seem to be treated as if big names did not have as big of an interest in the subject. That's my personal opinion, by the way. I do not know them personally, and I'm not trying to call anyone out here. I have taken it upon myself to create this channel to give Inuyasha the attention it deserves. So even if the big guys don't discuss it and it gets pushed aside by other anime, someone will always be there to talk about it. Thanks for joining me today. Why not go ahead and let me know your favorite Inuyasha moment in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time you visit the archives.